Okay, whoever that is, you need to make sure you're on mute. All right, everyone. Welcome to the 187 District Court. Mr. Gilliland, you need to face this direction. Mr. Gilliland, you need to face the screen. All right, these are the rules of the 187 District Court. You are in a courtroom. Anything that you could not do if you were physically in this courtroom, you cannot do on this Zoom screen. If you behave inappropriately on this Zoom screen, what will end up happening is you will be required to appear in court. Now, what does that mean? That means you're going to have to take the VIA bus, maybe. When I took the VIA bus, they did not give you change back. And guess what? My understanding, they still don't give you change back. Or you may need to take a Lyft or an Uber. If you drive downtown, what you're going to find is a lot of one-ways because there's construction. And if you have the chance of finding a parking space, you are going to find that parking cost is now at a premium. To all of the inmates, these are your rules. You are not allowed to use the chat box. You are not allowed to use the internet. If you use the chat box, if you use the internet, you are going to be sent back. And as you know, staff is limited. So what does that mean? That means we'll probably see you in maybe 60 to 90 days. To all of those who are accused and defendants at your home, you are not allowed to be cooking, cleaning, eating breakfast, taking care of children, doing all of that. If you do that, what's going to end up happening is you're going to be required to appear in court. Court is located at 300 De La Rosa on the 4th floor. To all the attorneys, if you have a plea bargain agreement, no matter how small you think that plea bargain agreement is, you need to put it in the chat box to the court coordinator. She's listed on your screen as Ferguson coordinator. The only thing she will need to know is whether or not it's deferred adjudication or regular probation. If it's a motion to revoke, she'll need to know if it's going to be a revocation potentially or not. That's what she'll need to know to get your paperwork. If your client is on bond, they will need to know your client's email address. I'm going to open the breakout rooms. When I open breakout rooms, it's going to invite everyone to a breakout room. Do not, I repeat, do not go to a breakout room unless I specifically call you by name and assign you to a breakout room. To all of the inmates and those who are defendants and accused, your attorney is probably going to want to speak to the state in the breakout room before they speak with you. So do not raise your hand asking if you're supposed to go in the breakout room, because if you're supposed to be in the breakout room, your attorney will request you to go to that breakout room. Your attorney's name will be called. Your name will not be called. Please do not raise your hand if your attorney's name has not been called, because that means that your attorney had to appear in person in another courtroom, or your attorney is Zooming in another courtroom. If at all possible, we will make sure that your attorney is here and you get a chance to speak with an attorney. To all the attorneys, I think all of you have been on this Zoom before, so you know the rules, but for those of you who may not, the breakout rooms, consider those breakout rooms as when you go to visit a doctor. When you go visit a doctor, your appointment may be at 9 a.m. You get there at 9 a.m. and they immediately call you back and you're excited because you're like, hey, I'm going to be seen right away and get out of here right away. And they take you to one of those small rooms. That's what those breakout rooms are. They're checking your weight and your blood pressure. As everybody can tell, there are more defense attorneys on this Zoom screen than prosecutors. Prosecutors have the ability to move in and out of the breakout rooms. If you leave that breakout room, it's going to show to the prosecutor that that breakout room is empty. So what's going to end up happening is that prosecutor is going to skip over that room and go to the next room. So everyone, today it's Wednesday. It's a beautiful week. Everyone came together for Martin Luther King, and remembered the dream. So everyone put some patience in your pocket. And if somebody else needs some patience, loan them some of the patience out of your pocket. So let's make this a great Wednesday. Let's not turn it into a horrible Monday. So this is the order in which the attorneys appear. Attorneys, if you see your name is low on the list and you wish to go to another courtroom, you can do that and zoom back in here. But we are going to take our break at 12. Our court reporter is going to need that break. Amir Mamori, Michael Bellevue, James Seeloff, Charles Bunk, Albert Gutierrez, Bridget Garza, James Toshi, Lorraine Efron, Melissa Christian, Robert Maurer. And Robert Maurer, you just put on your name family violence as though you're the complainant. I'm sorry, though you're the defendant.
I have a lot of anger in me, Judge.
Okay. Todd McCray, Patrick Ballantyne, William Davidson, Melanie Lira, Matthew Allen, John Robertson, M. Sanchez, Jason Nitz, George Schaefer, Gary Chirac, Adam Cobbs, John Winter. Is there any attorney who's here and I have not called your name?
Christine McDonald, Judge.
I'm sorry, I didn't see you. Anyone else?
Roberto Ramirez, Your Honor.
All right, attorneys, when you come in and your screen is black, because there's a lot of boxes for me. I have 4 pages of boxes today. It makes it hard for me to focus on you because I'm focusing on everyone's face. Anyone else who's back? Any other attorneys? All right, then we are going to start. To the inmates and attorneys, when you visit with your client, if they're an inmate, do not tell them and do not personally say your case is over and you go back. To the inmates, I'm the only person who can excuse you. If you leave before it's time for you to leave, it's going to be hard, if near impossible, for us to get you back. All right. All right, Amir Mamori, thank you for changing your name. You already made it a great day.
Thank you, Judge.
Judge,
I'm here on Joshua Cuellar. He has an MTR and a new number 1. They're both CTD cases.
All right, I sent you to number 3.
May I go there?
Yes.
Thank you.
Michael Bellevue, thank you for changing your name. I'm sending you to 4.
Thank you, Judge.
James Seeloff.
Yes, Your Honor. I have Manuel Gonzalez. He's been declared incompetent to stand trial, and there's been no change.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1. Ms. Ferguson will meet you there, and she'll give you a new date just for us to check up on the status. And when you come back, give me that new date.
Stay safe.
All right, thank you. You too. Charles Bonk, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 5.
Thank you.
Everyone that's changing their name, you're making this a fantastic Wednesday. Albert Gutierrez, don't disappoint me.
I didn't, Judge.
Yes, it looks great. Thank you. I'm going to send you to number 6.
Thank you.
Bridget Garza.
Hi, Judge. Good morning.
Oh, you changed your name. Thank you so much. I'm going to send you to number 7.
Okay, thank you.
James Toshi.
Good morning, Judge. I've already conferred with the prosecutor and have an agreement. Can I talk to my client instead of going to a prosecutor breakout room?
Yes, no, I'll see you to number 8 with your client.
Thank you, Judge.
Is there any paperwork that needs to be done or no?
I believe a video conference and a cert. We're going to have a proposed sentence to you, Judge.
All right, if you'll put that in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson, and I'll send you to 8.
Yes, ma'am.
And Brenda Carbajal, where are you? Brenda Carbajal.
She's in custody, Judge.
Okay.
I don't know if she's down yet.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, we need Brenda Carbajal. And if you could also go to breakout room number 1.
Yes, ma'am. I'm checking up on breakout room number 1, and Carvajal will be here by 9:15.
All right, thank you. Lorraine Efron.
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 9.
Okay, we haven't agreed MTR.
All right, if you'll put that in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson.
Okay,
And is Christopher Gonzalez in custody or on bond?
he's on bond, Your Honor. Is Michelle Hayden available?
All right, I'll send you to breakout room number 9. Let me know when you want your client in there. Melissa Christian.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. I love the pen.
Just for you.
I appreciate that. It's beautiful. I'm going to send you to number 10.
Thank you, Judge.
Robert Maurer.
Judge, I actually need to speak to my client as well. It's a recall. I have a new offer from Michelle.
What is your client's name?
It's Geronimo Hernandez. I spoke to him this morning, sent him the link about 8:50. He didn't realize he was set, so he should be logged on.
Geronimo Hernandez, where are you? I remember last time he messed up your schedule, Miss.
Yes.
You had everything lined up, but see, things never work out to plan, but you should still make plans.
Judge, let me call him because if it's going to be a plea, I'll just have to pick a date with Michelle. We've been talking about it. I'm supposed to be live in the 186. I just found out too, but let me call him and I will mute myself for a change.
Okay, thank you. All right, Todd McCray.
Good morning, Your Honor. We have a plea agreement worked out. I've let Norma know. I'm waiting on the paperwork from the state. And if you could put me in a breakout room with Mr. Pisana.
All right,
I will
Mr.
help.
Pisano, if you'll go to 11, please. Thank you for changing your name. Patrick Valentine. Thank you for changing your name. I'll send you to 12.
Thank you.
Bill Davidson. William
morning.
Davidson. Hi,
Hello.
who's your client?
I have 2 clients and they go in 2 different categories. One, Montemayor, he's in the family violence. And then Allison Settle, which is in the criminal trial division.
And that's SETTLE.
Yes,
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 13.
thank you.
You're welcome. Melanie Lira, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to 14.
Judge, on this case, actually, I just need to verify that my client is on. That's why I believe we put him back on. He came into the courtroom last Friday at 4 and called me from one of the courtroom phones, but I don't have a number for him.
All right, Jesus Mendoza. Jesus
And I already
Mendoza.
have.
All right, I give everybody till 10:30.
Yeah, I'll just wait around. I already spoke with the ADAs.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Matthew Allen, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 14. It's just as lucky as number 13.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. John Robertson.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you number 15.
Thank you.
M. Sanchez.
Good morning, Your Honor. I'm here with Ms. Gonzalez this morning.
All right, I'm going to send you to number 16. Thank you for changing your name.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Judge, I have a date whenever you're ready.
Okay, just one moment. Jason Seeloff, who's your client?
Manuel Gonzalez.
Is that his full name, Manuel Gonzalez?
Yes. The cause number is 2021-6657. He was declared incompetent.
You say 6657?
Yes. That's what I wrote.
All right, I don't have that file. What's the date?
What's the what?
What date were you given?
February 23rd. February 23rd.
All right, thank you so much.
Thank you. Stay safe, Judge.
All right, you two have a great rest of your day.
You too.
And everyone, just give me a moment, please.
On the recall docket.
Thank you. You knew that's what I was looking for. You can read my mind. Jason Nitz.
Yes, ma'am. I
Yes.
have Justin Martinez. I don't see him on, but there are a couple of phones and whatnot that I'm not sure what he looks like, so I'm not sure if he's there.
Okay, I'm going to see you to 17. George Schaefer, is your client criminal trial division or family violence?
It was a sexual assault, Judge, habitual.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 18.
Okay.
Norma, Manuel Gonzalez can go back. He's 17B.
Yes, ma'am.
Gary Churack. Gary Churack.
Yes, ma'am. Family violence.
I'm going to send you to number 19.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. Adam Cobbs. Adam Cobbs going once, going twice. Mr. Butler, you need to put that mask on. It doesn't work as a chin strap. John Winter. John Winter going once, going twice. Christine McDonald, thank you for changing your name. I'm going to send you to number 20.
Thank you, Judge.
Roberto Ramirez, you get lucky, breakout room number 21.
Thank you.
Is there any defense attorney who has not been assigned to a breakout room? All right, then everyone give me a moment. I am going to sign some paperwork. All right. Is there Geronimo Hernandez on the screen? Geronimo Hernandez.
Judge, can I announce for you really quickly?
Yes.
Mr. Hernandez is trying to log in. It's going to be a plea. I tried to chat Michelle, but she must be in a Zoom, so I sent her a text message. I cannot do it today since I have to go over to the 186. I want to see if we can set it for a plea in 2 weeks. It's going to be a Cap 5 opposed, so we'll need a PSI date after that.
All right, let me send you something in the chat.
Okay. Michelle is going to get paperwork ready for me though.
Okay.
And I told him to log on. May I be excused and you can just wait and see if he logs on and then just tell me when you want me to come back?
Yes, and if you want to come back this afternoon, we'll be here this afternoon at
I've
2.
got 3 hearings this afternoon as well. It's been.
I understand.
So.
We'll text you when he shows up.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, Tom back from 8, and I see that Vargas, 13B in custody is here. Can you put her in 8, please?
Okay.
Her lawyer's here.
Vargas, if you go to breakout room number 8, please. Vargas, go to number 8.
Judge, it's Melissa Christian, and I am back from conferring. I will need to speak with my client, Mr. Winters, but I'm looking at an empty chair in my view box here, so I'm not sure what's going on there.
Is he in custody?
He is, ma'am.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can you see where Winters 17A is, please?
He'll be here at 9:30, Judge.
He'll be in at 9:30 because we have there's a staffing issue. So even though it shows on the screen, they have to transfer inmates down, and each deputy is only allowed to have so many inmates in a room.
I'll stand by.
All right, thank you. And when you see him come on, just get my attention and we'll make sure he goes to that room.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay, Judge, it's Melissa. He's back.
Okay. And which room do you need him in?
I think I was in 10, but I cannot swear to you.
All right. Yes, you were in 10. Ms. Winters, Mr. Winters, I'm sorry. I need you to go to breakout room number 10, please. Winters 17A, go to number 10, please.
Judge, this is Scott Simpson here. I was wondering if it's possible to go in a breakout room with my client, Theodore Buchanan.
Okay. Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
It's special crimes. Raul Jordan has been handling it.
That's right, Judge, and I am here.
Theodore Buchanan?
Yes.
All right, where's Theodore Buchanan?
Right here, Your Honor.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 22,
Thank you, Judge.
and your attorney will meet you in 22. Raimundo Alamon. Raimundo Alamon. Let me see. Attorney Raimundo Alamon. Lorraine Efron, are you back?
I am, Your Honor.
Yes.
We have an agreement on the MTR and also to alternate amend bond conditions to sort of line up with what we're doing to the MTR, with the MTR.
All right. So if you'll put in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson what your agreement is, and I'll send your client to breakout room number 9 with you.
Okay.
All right. Where is Chris Gonzalez? Chris Gonzalez. Is your client in custody?
No, he's on bond.
He is not on the Zoom. Unless you see him on the Zoom listed as something else.
Chris, if you're on, you need to unmute yourself.
I'm right here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, but you did not change your name. So all you have on there is user and you were muted. So we didn't know who you were. Okay. So yes, Your Honor, put me in a breakout room with him.
All right. If you'll go back to breakout room number 9 and I'll send him to number 9. Michael Latimer.
Yes, Your Honor. Good morning.
Good morning. I'll send you to breakout room number 23.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Judge, may I update the court very briefly on Mr. Winters?
Yes.
I have sent Mr. Joe Ray Garcia a chat. We are accepting his plea offer, and I have already sent that to Norma as well. So we will just stand by awaiting paperwork.
All right. Thank you. Mr. Alamon. You're on mute, Mr. Alamon. Hello, who do you have, Mr. Alamon?
Miss Leah McFarlane, sister and the inmate at the jail.
Is it criminal trial division or family violence?
No, ma'am, it's criminal. I'm sorry, it's criminal. Yes.
All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 24. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome.
Judge, I just want to confirm that he's not in the courtroom. He's also a Spanish speaker.
All right, just give me one moment, please.
Thank you.
I'm in the middle of signing paperwork. I know it appears that I'm just looking at the screen, but I'm actually signing paperwork. I probably need to start turning off my video when I sign paperwork. Okay. And what was your client's name?
Jesus Mendoza.
All right, to the courtroom, is there a Jesus Mendoza in the courtroom? And there is not, according to what I received in the chat.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. James Toshi, you're back.
Yes, ma'am. I believe that all the paperwork has been signed by myself and my client. I'm not sure if Lupe has it yet, or Robert.
All right.
But we're ready.
So
Judge.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 1.
Okay.
And your client, is it Carbajal Vargas?
It is, Judge. Yes, ma'am.
All right, Vargas, if you could go to breakout room number 1, please. And to the clerk, I need you to go to breakout room number 1
Thank you, Judge.
and make sure that all the paperwork is done, please. All right, anyone back from the breakout room? And Ms. Ferguson, if you get in touch with Mr. Maurer and let him know his client, Geronimo Hernandez, is here.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. George Schaefer?
Yes, Your Honor. I've had a chance to speak with the state and with my client. Obviously, I'm just getting appointed. I have no discovery yet, so we need to get reset, please.
Jesse Esparza, is your client on bond or in custody?
He's on bond.
All right, Jesse Esparza, where are you?
He should have come back to the main session, Judge.
All right, let me see.
Right here, ma'am.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, if I could have a 30-day reset for Jesse Esparza, please. And if you could put that in the chat box.
So she'll give us the date in the chat box.
She's going to give me the date in the chat box, and I'm going to tell you what the date is. How many cases does your client have?
It's only one case, Your Honor.
All right, so I have one that's 2021 CR 10254. That's the only one, correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to give you a regular reset. And we are going to come back on February 24th.
Okay, Your Honor.
And you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge. Have a great day.
All right, you too.
Okay, remember about those bananas, Judge.
I will. And everybody, he's not being disrespectful. That's an inside joke between us when we went to a continuing legal education course together. All right, bye, Mrs. Sparsa.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Have a good one. Okay. Is there anyone else ready? All right, any other attorney ready?
Judge, we're ready on Ms. Vargas.
Okay. Let me see if this is going to work for us. It worked on the first try. Who is the attorney on Vargas?
For the state or defense, Judge?
For the state.
I'll do it, Tom Nisbet.
Right. Don't be hitting that. All right. The court is calling 2020 CR 10196, State of Texas versus Brenda Vargas Carbajal. Can I have the parties announced for the record for the state?
Tom Nisbet.
For the defense? For the defense? For the defense.
And Tochi for Ms. Carbajal.
And are you Ms. Vargas Carbajal? Yes?
Judge, I'm here. I'm having internet issues.
All right. And are you Brenda Vargas Carbajal?
Yes, ma'am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
None.
Any objection from the defense?
Are you
But it's a
frozen?
beautiful day. He's frozen. Brenda, isn't there a song by Madonna called Frozen? And then we have the children's cartoon Frozen. James Toshi is frozen.
Yeah, Judge, that was defense counsel on the phone. He's having internet issues. He's frozen. He's rebooting his Zoom and coming right back.
All right, thank you. Just give us a moment, Ms. Vargas.
Can I mute myself?
Yes. All right, Mr. Mamori.
Judge, good morning. I've conferred with Meredith McIntyre, Judge, and we have an agreement. And do you want me to review that with you, or?
No, if it's an agreement, if you'll put it in the chat box, and Ms. Ferguson will get that done.
Okay, I will do that.
All right, and I guess
Judge, we're gonna be withdrawing it and altering and amending. So Rebecca's gonna do the paperwork.
Okay. So as soon as that paperwork is done, then your client will need to remain to speak with the probation officer.
Yes, Judge. Judge, may I be excused then? I think we're going to get it done, or what do you want me to do here?
Just give us a moment until it's actually, the paperwork is actually done and signed. It shouldn't take that long.
I'll just be on the side. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, we're back on the record on 2020 CR 10196. There are two James Toshis joining us.
I couldn't hear that, Judge.
Oh, he's telling me that he's joining me on his phone.
Okay.
All right, so you are on mute, James.
I'm sorry, Judge. My phone seems to be working better than my laptop, so I am
Oh yeah, and
here.
it's in HD. It's beautiful.
That's probably not good, but okay. I'm here.
Well, I'm still on. I don't know. I'm still on number 6, and they're already on number 20. I don't give up my phone till it actually dies. All right, we're back on the record in 2020 CR 10196. Is there any objections to us proceeding by video? And for the record, we're proceeding by video because of the pandemic state. Any objections?
None, Your Honor.
Defense, any objections?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Vargas Carbajal, I'm showing you what's entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video Conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilty and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you the same Brenda Lizette Vargas Carbajal, who's placed on deferred adjudication in 2020 CR 10196 for the offense of driving while intoxicated on August 2nd, 2021 for a period of 1 year? Is that you?
Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Carbajal, sorry, Vargas Carbajal and Mr. Toshi, the court has it on its docket sheet that she is not a citizen. Have you had a chance to discuss with her the ramifications of pleading true to any of the violations and the consequences, the immigration consequences of any decision the court may make?
I did, Judge, and we revisited the issue and back at the time of the plea. So yes, she is aware of the potential of any plea of true on the motion to revoke.
And that's as it relates to the immigration consequences, correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Then state.
Yes, Judge. Condition number 2, on or about the 4th day of January 2022 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant, Brenda Lizette Vargas, Carbajal, did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court supervision officer in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that? True or not true?
True.
State.
Waive the remaining allegations.
Any objections to the state's waivers?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Vargas Carbajal, did you understand by pleading true to violation of condition number 2, the court could find it true, grant the motion, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 180 days in the Bexar County Jail and up to a $2,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violation of condition number 2?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will find violation of condition number 2 true. Is there an agreement?
There is, Judge, pending your approval, it's to revoke and adjudicate the defendant. Assess 9 days, Bexar County Jail, credit for time served. She has 9 days actual, and our intention is to satisfy the judgment.
All right, defense, is that the agreement?
That is our agreement, Judge, and we ask that you follow it as well.
Ms. Carbajal, are you asking that the court follow that agreement?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you waiving your right to appeal?
Yes, ma'am.
Court will follow your agreement. The court is finding violation, as previously stated, violation of condition number 2 true. The court will grant the motion, not grant you community supervision, find you guilty, sentence you to 9 days in the Bexar County Jail, give you credit for any time served, and the court will show that this judgment is satisfied. Next, I'm going to show you what's entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we can go off the record. Ms. Carbajal, you had a chance. You're going to have to do better. You have a child. You need to make sure that child looks up to you. If there's alcohol issues with you, then what you can do is you can go to AA meetings or NA meetings. They're throughout the city. They're 100% free. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good luck to you, Ms. Carbajal.
Thank
Norma,
you
Ms.
so much.
Carbajal can go back. You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day.
You too, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. And Norma, she is, let me see what her number is. She's 13B.
Thank you.
And Dimitri Lavallee. All right, and to prosecutors, Dimitri Lavallee is going to be recalled for February 24th due to medical issues.
And Judge, Charles Bunk still wants to confer with the prosecutor.
All right, so Mr. Bunk still would like to confer with someone from the state on that case. And everyone, just give me a moment. Michael Sawyer. Michael Sawyer.
There you go.
I'm unmuted. I'm here, Your Honor. Good morning.
All right, how are you doing today? It's always nice to see you.
Just did a Zoom on the civil side. That was very unusual for me.
So who do you have with us?
Sean Rodis, Your Honor.
How do you spell the last name?
Oh, Rodis, Roddis.
And is it criminal trial division or family violence?
Criminal trial, Your Honor.
Okay, as always, tell your brother I said hi.
I will.
All right, I'm going to assign you to breakout room number 2.
And Judge, I also have LaQuinn Hyson this morning.
Ah, okay, let me put that in here. And is that criminal trial division or family violence?
That would be criminal trial division, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, I will send you to number 2 and a prosecutor will meet you there.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. And everyone, just let me check my email to see if there's more paperwork for me to sign. Okay. All right. Lorraine Efron?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes.
Okay. I think we have an agreement. I wanted to ask Michelle about one more thing. Is she on here? Michelle Hayden?
Let me check. Just one moment. Let me see if she's in a breakout room. She's in a breakout room. But if you'll remain in this room, once she comes out of the breakout room, I'll let you know you need to speak with her.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. All right, John Winter, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 25.
Okay, Judge.
Thank you. Michael Bellevue?
Yes, Judge.
Yes.
Okay, I did confer. Marcus let me know there is a new case coming down out of this transaction. It's a drug case. There is a grand jury number and a JN, but that's it. They have not indicted him yet.
And where is your client? Is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond. I spoke with him this morning. I gave him the passcode.
He's not here.
He's not here. I've texted him twice. I know he was trying to log in. Well, I guess I have to keep trying to find him.
All right. I give everyone till 10:30.
Right here, Judge.
Where are you?
Right here.
How are you listed on the screen?
I don't know. I just went to the link that he
No,
sent.
what is your name?
He's Galaxy A12, Judge.
Oh,
Thank you,
Galaxy
Scott
A12.
Simpson.
I'm sorry about that.
All right. And what is happening with Mr. Cedillo?
As I said, Your Honor, there is a new drug case coming down and it is out of the same transaction. But it has not been indicted yet. I'm requesting one last reset on these so we can actually deal with all the cases at the same time.
All right. And do you know the amount of drugs that's alleged?
Marcus said on the report it's 1.9 grams.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Cedillo, can I have a 3-week reset, please? All right, we're going to come back on February 9th.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. You and your client are excused.
All right. And may I just say, Mr. Castillo, Mr. Cedillo, I will give you a call.
Okay, thank you.
And everyone, just give me one moment. All right, and Mr. Simpson, Mr. Buchanan, he only has one case?
Yes, Your Honor. And if I could, is Raul still here? I could break out with him for like a minute.
I am, Your Honor.
Yes. Let me see where you are, what room you're in, Mr. Simpson.
I'm in room 22.
All right, if you'll go back to 22, and
Okay.
Mr. Jordan, if you'll go to 22, please.
Certainly, Judge.
And to the prosecutors on Momori's case and the probation officer, do you know if the motion to withdraw has been emailed? Mr. Momori, I know you probably have other courts to be in. So what I'll do is I'll make a notation that this is the case that the state is supposed to withdraw the motion on. So if something happens, we'll call you back.
Thank you, Judge. Judge, I need to run to County Court 5 and I'll be back. I'll check back in about when I'm done there.
All right, thank you.
Maybe excused?
Yes.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, Michael Latimer.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, Your Honor. This is the second setting. I just signed the protective order to secure the CPS records. And I'll be working with the prosecutor regarding the 18 notices of outcry statements. Resolve those issues.
All right. All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Fidel Ayala, please? So, Mr. Latimer, with the CPS records, then everything has been signed. So you just have to get the CPS, go pick up the CPS records. Is that correct?
That's correct.
All right. Is there any other discovery?
Yes, there is some issues regarding the outcry, but I'm going to work with Michelle on that. I filed the pretrial motions last week, so we'll resolve those issues. It shouldn't be an impediment.
All right. So that's not something that the state is going to disagree on, you believe?
I don't expect so.
All right. So we're going to come back on February 22nd. Has the state made an offer in this case or no?
They're not prepared to at this time.
All right. So on February 22nd, the state should be able to give you an offer.
All right, thank you.
And if there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you, Mr. Isla.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other defense attorney? Just one moment. Matthew Allen.
Yes, Judge, I conferred, the prosecutor hasn't made an offer yet. So I guess we need to reset, and then if I could speak with Mr. Knight as well in a breakout room.
All right. Has the state told you when they will be prepared to make an offer? I guess next setting.
Yes, Judge, we're still trying to get in contact with our victim, hopefully by next setting.
All right, thank you. Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Knight, can I have a 30-day reset, please? And are there any discovery issues that you see so far, Mr. Allen?
No, Judge.
All right, Mr. Knight, we're going to bring you back on February 22nd. If your attorney wants you back sooner, he can always request that from the court and we'll make that happen. Mr. Allen, I'll send you to a breakout room with your client. When you finish with him, he needs to come back to the main room.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
All right, let me find out which breakout you were in. You were in number 14.
Yes.
Mr. Allen, if you'll go to 13. And Mr. Knight, if you'll go to breakout room number 13. Gary Churek. You're on mute.
Back off mute. On Jose de Boscas, talk to Caitlin. There's a bunch of discovery that still needs to get processed. We're waiting on some potential drug testing and some text messages that are supposed to be existing. She doesn't have them, apparently has to follow up on it. So if we can get another reset to get the discovery working.
Just one moment. Does your client have a middle name? Because I don't see his file.
Jose del Bosque, Bosque.
All right, to the clerks, for some reason, I do not have that file. Jose del Bosque. Just give me one moment.
I'll check, Judge.
All right. Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset, please, on Jose del Bosque? All right, we're going to come back on February 23rd for discovery.
Judge, I will not be available on February 23rd. I will be on my honeymoon.
What?
Yeah, I'm going to be in the Mexican Riviera.
Get out of town. Well, happy honeymooning. When are
Yes.
you leaving and when are you coming back?
We're leaving like the 19th and coming through like the 26th or 27th, something like that.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, unless we want to help with Gary Churek's divorce, I think we need to probably reset this for a different date other than February 23rd.
Judge, was that a pun intended when you said get out of town?
Yeah. All right, so we're going to bring you back on March 2nd.
Okay, got that, Judge.
All right, Mr. Del Bosque, we could bring you back sooner, but your attorney is going on his honeymoon. So we're going to bring you back on March 2nd, unless you would like him to come back during his honeymoon. All right, so we'll see you all back on March 2nd.
All right, Judge. And we've got one more on the docket. Mr. De Bosquez is excused. Is that correct?
Yes, you're excused, Mr. Del Bosque.
All right. And then I have Eddie.
Just one second.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I need to find it on the docket. And so that one is discovery. And who else do you have?
I have Eddie Medina.
All right, is your client in custody or on bond?
He's on bond.
All right, and Mr. Medina, you need to find a stationary place and sit down, and you need to show yourself on the video, please.
I'm working on his paperwork right now, Judge.
All right, so this is a plea?
This is a plea with an application for deferred.
All right, and there's no requirement of an interpreter, correct?
That is correct.
All right, then as soon as we get that paperwork done, we will be ready. And if you put it in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson?
Yeah, I will do that to Ms. Ferguson and give her the email for my client.
Okay, and I'm going to send your client to breakout room number 4.
All
And I'll
right.
send you to 4 as well.
All right.
Can I get that email when you get a chance, Gary? I
yeah.
already told Norma about the deal.
Okay, let me give you the email. I'll type it in right now.
All right, Luis Martinez, who do you have?
Judge, I've got Israel Medellin. It's a CTD case. I've been conferring with Marcus on it if he's available.
Okay, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3.
Thank you, Judge.
All right, and everyone, just give me one moment, please. I want to make sure I don't have any paperwork to sign. All right, to the clerks, you should have paperwork on Pisana. And Mr. McCray, if you could go to breakout room number 1, and Victor Pisana, go to number 1, and the clerk will check your paperwork and swear your client in. Raimundo Alamon.
Yes, Judge. Yes, I've been waiting and waiting, and nobody ever came to talk to me from.
Those are doctor's rooms, Mr. Alamon. Just have some patience. They will get to you.
Yes, Judge, but I have 7 Zooms to do today. I cannot wait forever. And
I
besides,
don't know, Mr. Alamon, here's the thing. I understand that people have other Zooms. You're in the 187 District Court. It's a district court. I don't like to pull rank on people, but district court on the scales of hierarchy comes before misdemeanor courts. But what I can tell you is this, that you were in breakout room number 24, which meant that there were 24 people ahead of you. And what I can tell you is a prosecutor just skipped over your room because it's empty. So I'm going to place you in number 22. If you'll wait there patiently, a prosecutor will be there for you.
all right.
Eddie Medina, if you could go back to breakout room number 4, please. Your attorney is waiting for you there. All right, Albert Gutierrez.
Good morning, Judge. I spoke with Assistant DA Marcus Sanders on my client, Christopher Barbosa. I have conveyed an offer again, and that offer is declined, so we will need a new date.
All right, he needs to come out of breakout room number 6. Well, let me just do this. I'm going to move him to breakout room number 1. And if you go to number 1 and be patient, Ms. Ferguson will meet you there as soon as everybody's sworn in.
Perfect. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. Christine McDonald.
Good morning, Judge.
Yes.
Your Honor, I've received an offer from the state, but I don't see my client on the screen.
Is your client in custody or on bond?
She's on bond, Judge.
All right, Letitia Solis. Letitia Solis. All right, Roland Garcia, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 8.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Any other attorneys who have Zoomed in? Just give me one moment, Ms. McDonald. Joseph Acevedo, who do you have?
Stephen Silva?
Silva,
Yes, Your Honor.
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
Criminal Trial Division?
I'm going to send you to number 9.
Thank you.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, I need you to go to breakout room number 1 to get a trial date for Albert Gutierrez on Mr. Barbosa. And your client doesn't appear to be on the Zoom screen, Ms. McDonald. I've searched, and according to the chat I've received in the courtroom, she's not present in the courtroom. I give everyone till 10:30.
Okay, Judge, she's logged in every time. I'll continue to try to get a hold of her.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, what is happening with Mr. Buchanan?
Yes, Judge. Is it possible we can reset this for a plea on February 2nd?
Okay. All right, if you will go to breakout room number 1, Ms. Ferguson is in there, and just see if February 2nd is all right. Mr. Jordan, you actually have the ability to move to different breakout rooms. Could you go to breakout room number 1 and check if that date is a good date for us?
Certainly, Judge. I will do that.
Thank you. We will know shortly, Mr. Simpson.
Am I to go to room 1 right now?
Oh, no. it's easier for the prosecutor to just pop in there and then pop out.
Okay, I'll stand by.
All right, thank you. And he will let us know if that's an okay date. I try not to set anything without first checking with Norma for our calendar schedule.
I picked the same day of the week because I figured this must be a good day, Wednesdays.
Oh, you know what? It is great days. And let me see if my printer is going to work because it hasn't worked forever. Brenda, the printer is working.
Well, that's good.
Yes, I mean, first time ever. All right, Mr. Mamori, the court hasn't received the motion to withdraw yet.
Judge, I just, I sent it to Meredith and to you. I was in the breakout room with the defendant, getting him to sign the admitted conditions before I send it out to you.
Okay, no, you're so awesome. Thank you. All right, then, Mr. Mamori, it is taken care of. You're excused.
Thank you, Judge. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Thank you. Have a good one. Anyone else ready?
I'm ready, Judge.
And who is saying that?
That's Albert Gutierrez for Christopher Barbosa.
Okay.
We have a trial date.
Okay, just give me a moment. Thank you. Just give me one moment. I'm trying to get a reset date very quickly on Scott Simpson's case, and then we will take up your date. All right, Raul Jordan on Mr. Buchanan.
Yes, Judge. The court coordinator stated that the 2nd of February would be a good date to come back for a plead.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
Then we will be back. Mr. Buchanan, Mr. Simpson, you are both excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you, Judge.
And
may I be
Mr.
excused,
Jordan,
sir?
you're excused, yes.
Thank you, Judge.
Unless you want to just hang out here. A lot of people like to hang out in the 187.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Bye-bye. All right, and then on Barbosa. All right, the court is going to call 2021 CR 3950, State of Texas versus Christopher Barbosa. Could I have the defense announced for the record, please?
Albert Gutierrez for Mr. Barbosa.
And are you Mr. Barbosa?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. My understanding, Mr. Gutierrez, you've received all the discovery in this case.
Yes, Your Honor.
And is this the only case that Mr. Barbosa has with us?
Yes, Your Honor.
Has an offer been tendered?
It has, Your Honor.
And has that offer been rejected?
It has.
Mr. Barbosa, are you requesting a jury trial?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor.
All right,
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Thank you. Mr. Gutierrez, what trial date were you given?
Tuesday, March 29th, 2022.
Do you have any objection to March 29th as the jury trial date?
I do not, Judge.
Mr. Barbosa, your jury trial date is going to be March 29th. You'll need to appear dressed for trial on that day. The court is located at 300 De La Rosa. We're on the 4th floor. It's the 187th District Court. And you'll need to be here at 9 a.m. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. When is your jury trial date?
March 29th, 9 a.m.
Which court?
187.
All right. I always ask that, Mr. Barbosa, because people say they forget and that they know their particular date. So that will be your date. If for any reason jury trials are still suspended, your attorney will be made aware of that, and in which case you'll be able to appear by Zoom. But unless you receive a notice that jury trials are suspended, you'll need to appear in court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, your plea deadline date has expired, so the court will not accept any plea bargain agreements in this case. If later you decide to enter a plea, it will need to be open to the court. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, if there's nothing else you need to place on the record, Mr. Gutierrez, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Nothing else.
All right, thank you. Mr. Steinberg, who do you have? Stenberg, who do you have?
Mr. Alexander, Gregory Alexander,
Criminal Trial Division or Family Violence?
family violence.
All right, it's always good to see you, Joe. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 11.
Thank you.
And whoever was waiting for Leticia Compost, she is actually here. Which attorney was waiting for her appearance? All right, is there an attorney for the state available on Victor Pazana?
I'm here, Judge.
I'm present for him, Your Honor.
All right,
Oh, and Mr. Sanders is here.
Brenda, you ready? Court is calling 2021 CR 7439, State of Texas versus Victor Pazana. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state,
Marcus Sanders.
for the defense?
Pray for Mr. Pizzana, Your Honor.
And are you Mr. Pazana?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objections from the state?
None.
Any objections from the defense?
We waived it in writing. No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pazana, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video conference. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you what's entitled application for deferred adjudication or community supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Have you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I have received the discovery the state has provided me with, and I have reviewed it with Mr. Pizzana. Yes,
Court
Your
will
Honor.
find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Pazana, I'm showing you what's entitled true bill of indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Your Honor.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
No, Judge, we are proceeding on count one, waiving count two and the enhancement paragraph.
Any objections?
That was our agreement, Your Honor. No objection.
All right, to the prosecutors, I put something in the chat box for you. Mr. Pizzano, I'm going to show you what's entitled Court Admonishments and Defendant's Waivers and Affidavit of Admonitions. Did you review this document with your attorney? Did you understand it, and did you electronically sign it?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
All right, did you understand what you're charged with is possession with intent to deliver a controlled substance, penalty group 2, 4 grams to 400 grams. That's a first-degree felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 5 to 99 years or life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Did you understand if you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement? If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
I did, Your Honor.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Absolutely, Your Honor. Yes, ma'am.
Did you understand that the court were to grant your application for deferred adjudication, if for any reason your deferred adjudication were revoked, the court could find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to life in prison and up to a $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm very aware of that.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
Judge, we've discussed all his options, including the possible defenses.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
Yes, Your Honor.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
He's competent and he was sane, Your Honor.
Mr. Paisano, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, they have not, Your Honor.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, they have not, Your Honor.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
I'm fully satisfied. Yes, Your Honor.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. And I'm putting something in the chat box for a prosecutor, but not on this case. Everyone, just give me a moment, please. All right, I'm going to show you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney, and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor.
According to the plea bargain agreement, the state is proceeding on count one. Your punishment is to be assessed at a cap of 15 years in the prison. There's a $1,500 fine. The state is opposed to your application. The state will take in consideration 2021 CR 7440. 2021 CR 7441. Did you understand that to be your agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
Defense, is that the agreement?
Yes, it is, Your Honor. Yes, that is, Your Honor.
Next, I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor, I did, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Your Honor.
Then to the offenses charged in count one, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
I plead guilty, Your Honor.
State any evidence to support the defendant's guilty plea.
Yes, the state offers states Exhibit 1 and its attachments.
Any objections?
Judge, we reviewed those documents in their entirety with Mr. Pizzana many times, and we find no objections.
Mr. Pizzano, I'm showing you what's entitled waiving consent to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor, I did understand it. And yes, Your Honor, I did sign it.
Did you understand, again, that you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state will call in the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports? But most importantly, there will be no live testimony. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that the defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states Exhibits 1 and attachments, and the court will review the same. After reviewing states Exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there sufficient evidence to find you guilty. However, the court will defer finding of guilt as you've applied for deferred adjudication. Sentencing will take place in this case on March 14th. Mr. Paisano, what will end up happening is probation will interview you. There will be certain dates that you will need to appear for with probation. I will base my decision on your application based upon a report that I received from probation and any other evidence that I received. Do you understand?
Absolutely, Your Honor, I do.
Mr. McCray, does Mr. Paisana need a TAP evaluation?
I think he needs a TAP evaluation, Your Honor.
All right, so I'm going to request that a TAP evaluation be done. So on March 14th, you'll need to be in court, Mr. Paisana. The courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa. We are on the 4th floor. It's the 187 District Court. Do you understand?
Absolutely, Your Honor. I will be
All
there.
right. When is your court date?
March 14th, 187 District Court,
All right, what time?
9 a.m.
All right, thank you very much. Brenda, do you see which page Mr. Paisano is on?
He wasn't on the docket.
He was on the add-on that we had sent out, Judge, but I'm having issues with the Google account, Judge.
All right, thank you. All right, I'm going to send you to a breakout room. Probation will meet you there. Mr. McCray, you can go in that room as well, and both of you all can be excused from that room. And probation will give you instructions.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Your Honor. You have a great day.
All right, you too. Mr. Pazano, are you able to go back to number 1 or no? I can send you to another room so it'll pop up. I tell you what, I'll send you to number 5.
Okay.
And Mr. McCray, if you could go to 5, and probation, if you'll go to 5, please.
Will do, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Bonk, your case has been reset for February 24th.
Okay. Do you happen to know which DA I can, I don't have to do it now, but who I can call and confer with later on this? Nobody ever came to my breakout room.
All right, just give me 1 second. We're going to make that happen now.
It's no big deal.
All right.
I
So
just-
who on Lava Lane, it's family violence and criminal.
No, I just need criminal trial. I did confer with family violence.
All right. Is there someone from criminal trial available to confer with Mr. Bonk on Lava Lane?
Or if they'll just tell me who it is and I'll call them. I'm fine. I mean, either way,
Let me see who's here. Just 1 second. Let me look through the breakout rooms. Okay, Marcus Sanders is in number 22. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put you in, Marcus is back. Marcus, are you able to confer with Charles Bonk on Lava Lane?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so let me see what breakout room you were in, Mr. Bonk.
5.
All right, so I'm gonna have to move you to 6. So if you go to 6, Marcus will meet you there. Yeah, no, 5 is occupied at the moment.
And Judge, on an unrelated matter, not court related, I sent you a chat on something else. So look at it when you get a second.
All right, thank you so
All right,
much.
thank you. Okay, bye.
Judge, my client is logged in now, Leticia Campos.
Yes. And do you need to speak with her?
Yes, please.
All right, Leticia, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 7. So Ms. Campos, go to number 7. And Christine McDonald, let me find out where you are.
Thank you, Judge. And just so you know, Judge, she's under Leticia Solis on your docket.
All right, thank you. I sent you to number 7.
Thank you.
All right, Melissa Christian, you are back with us. And we're just waiting for paperwork for you. Is that correct?
Yes, I'm sorry, Judge. I'm slow on the buttons. Yes.
No problem. Okay, all right, thank you. Bridget Garza.
Yes, Judge. My client is making his way back.
Yes, he's here.
I conferred with Meredith, and it appears that Mr. Butler has some cases out of Travis County. And so I need some more time. Mr. Butler is going to try to bond out so that he can attempt to take care of those cases in Travis County.
Okay. And do you know if you have all the discovery in this case?
I believe I do, Your Honor.
All right, and he only has this one case with us, correct?
That's correct. He has a misdemeanor pending, but yes.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Butler, please? All right, we're going to come back on February 24th. All right, Mr. Butler, we'll see you back on February 24th. If you need to come back sooner or your attorney wants you to come before sooner, she'll contact the court coordinator and we'll have you brought over sooner.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. God bless.
All right. Oh, thank you. God bless you too. You have a great rest of your day. Norma, can you let them know Butler 14N can go back?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Judge.
Thank you. Joe Stenberg.
Yes, sir.
Yes. What is happening with Mr. Alexander?
We're going to go to trial, and I've requested a couple more things from the ADA. So could I have a reset till March?
Well, how many cases does your client have with us?
One.
All right. So here's the thing. I realize that this case is old because of when, based upon when the alleged incident is alleged to have occurred. But we've been here since June 2021, and it seems as though we're not moving forward anywhere because we were here for discovery on September 9th. Then we came back for discovery on October 13th. Then discovery on November 16th. And then we came back for discovery. Well, then you told me you had received all the discovery on November 16th, and this was supposed to be set for jury trial. But because of the pandemic, we didn't have a jury trial. So first question, do you have all the discovery or not?
No.
What discovery are you missing?
The 3914B and the 404B and other notices.
All right, Miss Ferguson, set this for the second week in February for discovery, and this will be the last discovery setting.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome.
And could I be put in a breakout room with my client, please, Mr. Alexander?
All right, we're going to come back. Mr. Alexander, we're going to come back on February 11th. And that's going to be the last discovery date. And Mr. Stenberg, is that something you haven't received and you felt like you should have received? File whatever motion you want to file, and we will have a hearing on it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, and after you finish speaking with your client, I'll need you to come back, or at least have him come back to the main room.
Yes.
So, Mr. Alexander, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 6.
All right, ma'am.
Thank you. And Mr. Stenberg, I'm going to send you to 6. Raimundo Alamon.
Yes, Judge, I don't know what happened. All of a sudden, I was supposed to see Mr. Saunders, and all of a sudden, my breakout room disappeared.
All right, well, that was something on your end, but Mr. Sanders said that he was in that breakout room and he was just talking to an empty chair. But I'm going to send you.
And I kept looking for him. I kept hitting him. It said hit ADA Sanders, and I kept hitting it, and nothing happened. And all of a sudden, they brought me back to the main room.
I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Please, I need to go do something. Everybody's calling.
Mr. Alamon, Mr. Sanders was in the breakout room looking for you. He said he was in that breakout room and he kept calling your name and he was speaking to an empty chair. So everyone, put patience in your pocket. Mr. Cox?
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning.
All right, Brandon Fritcher, Fritcher. And I think that's criminal trial.
All right, thank you. It's always good to see you, Mr. Cox.
It's always good to be seen, Judge, in these days.
Oh, yeah, you want to be seen, you know.
I want to be among the living, Judge, for a little while.
Yes. I'm going to send you to number 7.
Thank you, Judge. Oh,
You're welcome.
lucky 7. I appreciate that.
Yes, lucky 7. Roberto Ramirez.
Yes, Judge, I conferred with the ADA, and however, she checked and she's not seeing my client on the boards, and I can't get up with her.
Yeah, no, I don't see her either. Just give me 1 second. Is there a prosecutor available?
Yes, Judge.
All right, so I'm going to put something in the chat box to Ms. McIntyre, and I'll put it in the chat box to you as well, Mr. Ramirez.
Okay.
All right. So on Miss Monica Reynolds, my understanding with this case that she was supposed to be considered for the 379th program, and that was going to be potentially a pretrial diversion. So does anyone have any update on that process?
I emailed I guess, I don't know her technical title, but she handles that. So I'm waiting to hear back, but I believe Mr. Ramirez has maybe a little additional insight. There's some steps that haven't been completed, I think, on the defendant's end.
All right,
Yes.
Mr. Ramirez, what is happening with that?
It's the next step of going to the screening, and she has to do it as a walk-in. And I spoke with her the last time. I had a very good conversation with her. She understood it, and she was motivated for it. And but then the case got reset from 2 weeks ago. So the last time I talked to her was 2 weeks ago. I communicated with her via email, and then now I can't get to her on any of the means of communication that I have. So I don't know if she made that appointment or not. But my understanding was that she knew about it. She knew what she needed to do and was going to do it.
Okay, so we were here on November 15th, and then it was reset for that court's treatment program and potentially a pretrial diversion. Then it was recalled for December 14th, and then it was recalled for January 5th. And so we're trying to do the coordination with that court. So let's see where we are on that. What I'm going to do is Ms. McIntyre and Ms. Ferguson, let's recall this for next week. And Mr. Ramirez, if you can see what is happening at that time. And Ms. Ferguson, when I say next week, let's make it later in the week, because supposedly, according to weather reports, people are not going to be doing a lot of driving tomorrow and Friday. It's hard to believe. It looks like it's 70 degrees outside, but they're telling us it's going to end up being sleet and snow, maybe in Texas. Hopefully the grid will hold. All right, so we're going to come back on January 31st.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, and I am going to note on the docketing sheet that your client did not appear, so she'll need to make sure that she appears.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right, thank you. You're excused.
Thank you, Your Honor. Everybody have a great day.
All right. Oh, and Mr. Ramirez, if you can
Yes.
also check with Ms. Starr, I believe her name is Michelle Starr. If you can check with her and make sure that the process is going as it should and that she's actually had contact with your client.
Mr. Shell Star Salazar, yes, I will.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Meredith.
All right, Christine McDonald.
Good morning, Judge. I'm here on Leticia Solis. We're going to need a trial date from Norma.
All right, let me. Look that up. All right, so we were here before and she was to pay restitution. Has that been done?
No, Your Honor, not yet.
All right, and I'm assuming that's not happening?
Judge, if it does, this case will be resolved. If not, we need a trial setting.
All right, have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Miss Ferguson, I'm gonna put this for a plea deadline date on January 31st. That's your plea deadline date, Ms. Campos, because for you to pay restitution, we've been here since October 5th for you to pay restitution. So we can't have this case, here for years. You understand, Ms. Campos? You're on mute, Ms. Campos.
I do understand, Miss Your Honor.
All right. So so whatever is going to happen, you need to let the court know by January 31st, okay?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. If there's nothing else, you and your client are excused.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes. And Norma Gregory, 17I, can go back.
Yes, ma'am.
And Brenda, do you see what page she is on?
And may Joe Stinber
17.
be excused.
Yes, you're excused. Thank you.
Oh,
Page 17, Judge.
Thank you. All right, Melanie Lira.
Hello, Judge. I'm on the phone actually with the client now. They're struggling to figure out Zoom. So he doesn't have an email and they're trying to register on his phone to get the application.
If not, he can appear in court.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Patrick Valentine. Raimundo Alamon.
Yes, Judge, I spoke to Mr. Saunders and he says we need a 2 or 3 week reset, so he hasn't spoken to the complainant yet.
All right, Jess.
Also, my client is homeless, so I don't know if he's gonna be released if he gets on probation. So.
All right, just give me one moment.
Yes.
Who are the parties on Winter? To the clerk, if you can go to breakout room number 24, please, to go over paperwork.
Thank you, Judge.
And Raimundo Alamon, your video is off.
Yes, I know. I keep hitting it to come on. It won't come on. I don't know why. I keep hitting it. Start video.
All right. What is your client's name?
Plea McFarlane. He's an inmate.
All right, Miss McFarlane. We're going to reset your case. I always require that the state be prepared to give an offer, and they're not prepared to give an offer today, okay?
Hey, ma'am. And also, I do have so it's going to move to my old address.
I'm sorry, what?
He said I didn't have an address. I do have an address to move to. It's my old address.
Who said you didn't have an address?
My lawyer, Raimundo Alamon, because they had me down as homeless.
All right, so Raimundo Alamon, your client is not homeless. She actually has an address. So have you gotten her contact information from her if she was released for custody?
Yes, ma'am. I've gotten all this up, but I believe the relative she had was from out of town in Virginia or somewhere.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset for Ms. McFarlane, please?
I'll just send you at the jail again, Ms. McFarlane.
Sorry?
Just a second, everyone. Please stop the chatter. 1 second.
All right.
Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, Ms. McFarland, you're going to come back on February 23rd.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Norma, L19 can go back. All right, Mr. Robertson.
Okay.
Your Honor, Meredith made an offer on my client this morning that he is inclined to accept.
Well, let me know all about it.
Just one second. Is that still Mr.?
What did you?
Okay, yes. Mr. Robertson. All right, if you'll put that in the chat box to Ms. Ferguson, we'll take it up.
I did. I just need to let Meredith know she's not around here. She's in a breakout, I think.
All right, could one of the prosecutors let Meredith know that Mr. Robertson is accepting the offer, his client is?
It's 2 years to do.
Okay, thank you.
Judge Boyd, my client's gonna head over there in person right now. Can I log off and then log back on in a bit?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Hi, Sabrina.
Yes, Mr. Martinez.
Judge, I've conferred with Marcus. So Mr. Medellin has 2 evadings. There is a sealed case, and then he's got a misdemeanor. I think if we get one more reset, we will be able to plead these cases and package them all together.
Mr. Medellin, you need to show your video.
Israel, start your video, please.
Mr. Medellin.
Yes. Israel, we need that video. There we go.
Yes,
Okay.
you're dressed inappropriately for court. I'm going to see you in court today by 2 p.m. Mr. Martinez.
Yes.
You said what, ma'am?
Ms. Israel, you're going to have to go in person in court by 2 o'clock this afternoon.
Why is that?
Because
you're dressed inappropriately.
I just
And
had a
every
video.
time you come on this Zoom screen, I have to tell you to always show your video, and for some reason you do not want to. So you're gonna have to be here at 2 o'clock. Ms. Ferguson, what's gonna be his new date?
I'm sorry, Judge, can you repeat that, please?
Mr. Medellin, I need a 2-week reset. Is that enough time, Mr. Martinez?
Judge, I think that will be.
All right, and I'm gonna put something in the chat box to you, Mr. Martinez.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right.
Okay. Your Honor, I'll have Mr. Medellin check in this afternoon. I'm quarantining at the house because I've got some kids with COVID, so I will not be able to be there with him.
All right, Mr. Medellin, you need to appear in court by 2 p.m. The courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa. It's the 4th floor, 187 District Court. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, we'll see you then.
Okay, and Judge, what is that new court date?
The new court date for you is going to be February 9th.
Okay, Judge. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Excused?
Yes, you're excused and your client will need to appear here at 2
Okay.
p.m.
Okay, do you want him in open court or do you want him in chambers or what do you want him?
Oh, in open court.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right, anyone else ready? John Winter.
Yeah, Judge.
Yes.
No, I'm not ready. I'm ready to go back in the breakout room and confer, I guess.
Okay. I was like, what's happening? All right, let me find your breakout room.
Mhm.
All right, have you conferred with the state?
No.
All right, well, John, you keep leaving. and
Well,
coming
Judge,
back.
it's a busy morning for me. So
I know, but I mean,
Yeah.
every time you leave, it's like you go to the end of the list. You're in number 3.
I'm getting stuff done, Judge.
Okay. All right. And John, you were waiting for Meredith. Meredith, John said there is an agreement on due close.
Is she back on, Judge? I don't see her.
Yes, you know what? Let me send her an email.
Okay, and Judge, one other thing, I got a chat message from Norma, 223. I guess she may be resetting us to do the plea on the 23rd.
No, John, that was supposed to be for the judge.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no, yeah.
Okay, let me throw one housekeeping matter out there. I've got a CLE for federal court at 1 o'clock today. It's 1 to 2:15. You think we'll be able to?
Oh, yeah, we're going to have this done before then.
Okay.
I am sending information to Meredith right now.
Okay, we're taking the 2 years to do.
And Judge, I sent her a text message as well.
All right, thank you. All right, Ms. Campos, you are excused. Or Ms. Solis, you're excused. All right, anyone else ready? Patrick Valentine? Okay.
Judge Lorraine Efron, I think we're ready. I don't know if my client, if the paperwork's been returned back to Norma.
And who is your client?
Chris Gonzalez.
Okay, let me see if any paperwork has been done.
It's an MTR, an agreed MTR.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, have you filled out any paperwork?
Yes, ma'am, and I already sent it.
All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to send you all to a breakout room to check with the with the clerk to make sure that your paper is done. And I'm going to send you all to breakout room number 24.
Okay.
Let me see. If you'll go to 24, please. Jason Nitz.
The on Tyrese Jackson, Marcus explained a little bit about what's going on. Apparently I need to be appointed for advice for him to talk with another attorney. Is that correct?
I think the judge is aware. It was a discussion that Judge Robert Porter had with Norma and I yesterday.
Yes.
Where he has a client who's a co-defendant of Tyrese Jackson, and he wants to speak to him and have him, I guess, testify, but I told him he would probably need an attorney. And so I think Norma called in Jason.
All right, so Jason, yes, that client is going to, at least the defense is probably going to subpoena them. And my understanding is that your client's case has been resolved, but out of the abundance of caution, I'm asking, since you represented him on that case, that the discussion or the questioning will be about that you be appointed to represent him as a witness.
Do we know when this is set for?
No. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to a breakout room with Miss Ferguson. She's in breakout room number 1. Adam Cobbs.
Hey, Judge, sorry about my tardiness. I had in person in Seguin along with 8 Zooms.
All right, who do you have? Oh, he is frozen.
Hello?
All right, Mr. Cobbs.
Is that working?
Yes.
Darlene Carrasco is who I have. That was a conditional dismissal if she completed the ATSE course. I have that certificate. I tried to get it to Brittany Sparks. I just don't know if she's still in that court. So I just need to get it to some CTD prosecutor who can tender the dismissal.
Well, if you will do me a favor, you can either email that information to me and I'll make sure the prosecutors receive that, or either you can email to Ms. Ferguson. It'll probably be simpler if you just email it to me.
Okay, let me, I'm pretty confident I've got your email, Judge. I'll email over the 2 screenshots.
All right, and what I'll do is I will put my email in the chat box for you.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
It's pretty easy to remember, I think.
Your Honor, may I update the court when the court's ready? It's Melissa
Yes.
Christian. On Adrian Winters, Judge, I believe all the paperwork has been turned in. Lupe has sworn him and we are ready whenever the court is ready.
All right, thank you. I will take that up. And Mr. Cobbs, you see the my email address, correct?
I do, Your Honor, and I'm trying to copy it right now, but not having great success.
Okay.
If that's okay, I'll get it to you right now.
All right, thank you. And Mr. Garcia, I'm going to take up this plea with Ms. Christian, and then we'll take up your matter.
Thank you, Judge.
Is there a prosecutor available for Winter?
It was Joe Ray.
Yes,
there
Judge.
he is.
All right, the court is calling 2021 CR 6160, State of Texas versus Adrian Winters. Can I have parties announced for the record for the state?
Joe Ray Garcia.
For the defense?
Melissa Christian.
And are you Mr. Winters?
Yes, ma'am. Your Honor, I am.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Winter, I'm showing you a document entitled Defendant's Consent to Appear by Video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Counsel, I'm showing you the discovery acknowledgement. Now, you received all the discovery in this case, and did you review it with your client?
I have, and I did.
Court will find that the state is in compliance with discovery. Mr. Winters, I'm showing you what's entitled True Bill of Indictment. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Counsel, do you waive the reading of the indictment?
We do, Judge.
State, are you proceeding on the indictment as presented?
The state waives the habitual enhancement paragraph.
All right, any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Mr. Winter, I'm showing you what's entitled Court Admonishments. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor, I have.
All right, you're charged with the offense of evading arrest or detention second or more. That's a state jail felony. The range of punishment is anywhere from 180 days up to 2 years in the state jail facility and up to a $10,000 fine. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea bargain agreement. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea bargain agreement and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be allowed to withdraw your plea. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Did you understand by entering this plea bargain agreement, you were giving up those rights?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into a plea bargain agreement in this case?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Counsel, has your client been able to provide you with any defenses to this offense?
He has, Your Honor.
Do you believe he has a rational as well as a factual understanding of the charges against him?
He does.
Do you believe he's currently competent and was legally sane at the time of the offense?
I do so believe, Judge.
Mr. Winter, has anyone threatened you, coerced you, or placed you in fear to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor, they haven't.
Has anyone promised you anything other than the plea bargain agreement to get you to enter this plea?
No, Your Honor, they haven't.
Are you satisfied with the way you've been represented?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Are you a U.S. citizen?
Yes, Your Honor, I am.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived his right to jury trial. Showing you the plea bargain page. Did you review that page with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
According to the plea bargain agreement, your punishment is to be assessed at 1 year in the state jail facility. There is a $1,500 fine. State will take in consideration cause numbers 2021 CR 5999, County Court cause number 659671, and there's to be no contact with Christina Delgado. Did you understand that to be the plea?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Defense, is that the plea?
That is the plea, Judge. Just we want to make sure that Mr. Winters has credit for time served.
Yes. And state, is that the plea?
Yes, Your Honor.
And state, is the complainant aware that cause number 2021 CR 5999 is being taken in consideration?
Yes, Judge. They were asking for a dismissal on it.
All right, next I'm showing you the paragraph entitled Waiver of Appeal. Did you review that paragraph with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in both places?
Yes, Your Honor.
Did you understand by signing that you're waiving your right to appeal? The only items that can be appealed are written pretrial motions that have been filed, heard, and ruled upon by the court. Did you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Counsel, have there been any such motions?
No, Judge.
Then to the offenses charged in the indictment, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
No contest.
State, any evidence to support the defendant's plea?
State offers Stakes Exhibit 1 and all its attachments.
Any objections?
We have no objection.
Mr. Winters, I'm showing you what's entitled Waiver and Consent to Stipulation of Testimony and Stipulations. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? Did you electronically sign it in all the appropriate places?
Yes, Your Honor, I have, and I did. Yes, ma'am.
Again, did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call, and the right to remain silent?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Did you understand that today the state will be presenting evidence in the form of witnesses' statements and police reports, but most importantly, there will be no live testimony?
Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily waived and consented to stipulation of testimony and stipulations. Court will accept into evidence states exhibits 1 and attachments and review the same. All right, after reviewing states exhibits 1 and attachments, the court will find there's sufficient evidence to find you guilty. The court will find you guilty. Are you proceeding with sentencing?
We are, Judge.
Anything you wish to say on behalf of your client?
Just that we have, Mr. Joe Ray Garcia and I have gone through this case, all of his cases thoroughly. This is the plea bargain that we reached, and we are asking the court to follow the plea bargain.
All right. Court will follow your plea bargain agreement. As previously stated, the court is finding him guilty. The court will sentence him to 1 year in the state jail facility, give him credit for any time served. There's a $1,500 fine, time and money will run concurrent. Take in consideration 2021 CR 5999, County Court Cause number 659671, and there's to be no contact with Christina Delgado.
Yes, Your Honor.
Showing you this document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Because this is a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And because this is a felony conviction, you're not allowed to own or possess any weapons or ammunition. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right. If you have a question over what a weapon is, you'll need to contact an attorney. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor, I understand.
All right, we can go off the record. Mr. Winters, it appears to me that you are not ready for a relationship. If you have anger issues, you need to get a handle on those, because otherwise you're going to find yourself in and out of jails, in and out of prisons. Now, I'm going to tell you what I tell everybody. If you want to really be great in a relationship, not that I'm equating people with plants, but the perfect plant to get is an orchid. Now, my staff gave me an orchid as a gift, and I appreciate that. Thank you, staff. They know I'm a green thumb. I've been having some problems with the orchid, though. And this is why I suggest that people get an orchid. Because when you get an orchid from the store, be it H-E-B, Walmart, or wherever, when you get it, it's in full bloom. You're like, this is a beautiful plant. So when you get that orchid, it's like $12. Sometimes they're on sale for 10. When you get that plant and the blooms fall off, keep that plant for a year. And if you can get that plant to bloom again, you just may be ready for a relationship. Because let me tell you something about orchids. You can't move them around too much. You got to be gentle with them. You got to be patient with them. And maybe they'll give you a bloom, maybe not. Right now, my orchid has 0 blooms. It hasn't had any blooms in it since I received it. And I received that plant in 2019. Now, I do have a leaf that's coming on the outside, but I don't think it's going to do anything. It's not going to. So you got to control your temper. Do you have any children?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, Your Honor, I do.
Boy or girl?
I have 7 children. They're grown.
All right, well, good for you. But here's the thing about children. If a child sees a parent who's abusive, they're going to think one or two things. They're either going to think that's the way you show you love somebody, or either they're going to think that might makes right. Right? Because children learn from what they see. That's how they learn to speak. When you see children who use profanity, that's because they're around people and they're using profanity. So, Mr. Winters, unless you want to be the guy at the jail or the prison who is called Grandpa Winters because you know everything that's going on, you're going to have to straighten up. All right?
Yes, sir.
All right. Good luck to you. And I'm serious about getting that orchid.
I love plants. Yes,
have you ever had an orchid?
No, I've had trees, cypress trees. I've had plum trees. I had avocado trees, lemon trees.
That's not the same, because you know what? A tree, once it takes root, you don't even have to water it anymore. You can just leave it out there and it does its thing.
Yeah.
All right. Good luck to you, Mr. Winters.
May I be excused, Judge?
Yes, you may be excused, Ms.
Thank you.
Christian.
Thank
Always
you.
a pleasure.
Always a pleasure, Judge. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. 17A, Ms. Ferguson. All right, Mr. Mitchell, who do you have?
Judge, I have Charles Jones. I looked up this morning, and maybe one of your prosecutors can verify, he still has 3 pending second-degree drug cases that are awaiting indictment.
All right, I think he has more than that. Something's been indicted. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. A prosecutor will meet you there.
Okay.
Mr. Sawyer?
If I go to breakout room with LaQuinn Hyson.
Okay, let me find out where you were located, Mr. Sawyer. All right, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 5.
Thank you.
And Mr. Heisen, if you go to breakout room number 5. Matthew Allen.
Yes, Judge, I'm back on Henry Knight. I conferred, this is the one where the prosecutor hasn't had contact with the complainant. So we'll need a new date. But we had previously filed a bond reduction that was denied by Judge Carruthers. We'd like to re-urge that. Mr. Knight's mother passed away on Monday. And this case has been pending. There's been no contact with the complainant. And so
All right, have you filed a motion?
we had previously filed one that was denied. I can file another writ.
All right, if you want to speak with the state concerning that, you can speak to the state concerning that and find out when they'll be ready for that. Mr. Knight, here's the deal. In this court, if the state is filing motions for remand without bonds or increase in bonds, or they want to add conditions, my rules are always they need to contact the defense and we'll set it for a hearing. Of course, if there's some expediency that's needed, it may be granted, but normally those are the rules in this court. And it's the same thing if your client or if your attorney wants to file a bond in this court or a notice for a bond reduction, I always give the state a chance to be prepared for that. So Mr. Allen, if the state wants to take that up today, we'll take it up this afternoon. Otherwise, it'll be on a different date. So if you want to confer with them about that and put that in the chat box, you can. And let me see which date we're going to bring Mr. Knight back. Okay, why do I not have the file for Mr. Knight? Does your client have a middle name?
I don't believe so, Judge. It's Henry Knight Jr., I believe, is on the file.
All right, to the clerks, I need the file on Henry Knight. I do not have that. All right, thank you. As soon as the clerk comes back, we're down to one clerk. As soon as he comes back, we'll find that file and take care of that. John Winter, Kenneth Kim.
Yeah, Judge. So I conferred with Marcus. He's got a couple other cases and a couple other attorneys appointed on those cases. So I'd like to wrap everything up. So I'd like to reset the case and be put in a breakout room to talk to Kim about it.
All right, so when is this going to take place?
What's that?
The wrapping up of these cases.
I don't know, maybe a 30-day reset.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Kenneth Kim, can I have a 30-day reset, please? All right, we're going to recall this for February 22nd.
Okay, Judge.
And I will send you to a breakout room with your client. After you speak with your client, I need your client to come back to the main room, please. Mr. Kim, let me see. I'm going to send you to breakout room number 2. Mr. Winter, I'll send you to breakout room number 2.
Okay, Judge.
Patrick Valentine.
Yes, Judge, I believe we have an agreement. It's for a to-do, so I'd like to bring Mr. Leandro Gonzalez back for a plea sometime in, I was hoping 2 weeks.
All right, we can do it today. Is your client in custody?
No, he's not.
All right, we can take care of it today.
I think he needs to speak to his family before accepting the plea. But
Okay, we have adult people who are like in their 40s and 50s. All right. Ms. Ferguson on Gonzalez, can you set this? Is January 31st enough time for you, Mr. Valentine?
I believe so, Your Honor.
And I'm going to put something in the chat box for you, Mr. Valentine. All right, Mr. Leandro Gonzalez, we're going to come back for a plea on January 31st. And Mr. Ballantyne, if you want to come back sooner than that, let the court know.
Will do, Your Honor. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. You and your client are excused. Let me just find him on the docket sheet. And Mr. Garcia, I haven't forgotten about you, but I know your case is going to take a little bit longer.
I don't think it'll take very long, Judge.
Okay, just give me 1 second then. But I think you have some motions that have been filed. That's why I say that. Are we going
Yes,
to hear those?
I have 3 writs. They're based on 17-151. I've conferred with the state. They are in agreement with the reduction, but not the PR. We're asking for a PR.
All right, so just give me 1 second. All right, on Knight, what is the cause number on Mr. Knight, please?
It is 2021 CR 10874.
10874?
Yes, Judge.
All right, let me pull that file. Just give me a moment. Everyone, just give me a moment. Put some patience in your pocket. Sorry about that. I'm a clerk as well. So what do you need with Mr. Knight, Mr. Allen?
Judge, we're asking for a bond reduction hearing.
All right, and is the state in agreement to proceed today or no?
I'm not sure. I reached out. I haven't gotten a response.
All right, what we'll do then with
Judge.
Mr. Knight.
Judge, it's me. Sorry, it's been busy. Matt, we can go to a breakout room real quick.
Okay. All right, let me see here. Matthew Allen, if you'll go back to breakout room number 9 and we'll take that up. All right, Mr. Davidson, your client, Ms. Settle, is here. Do you need to speak with her? Or do you need to confer with the state?
Your Honor, I need to confer with the state on this case.
All right, I'll send you to number 8.
Thank you.
All right, who is the prosecutor on Gilliland?
I conferred with Marcus on that earlier today.
He's in a breakout room. As soon as he comes back, Mr. Garcia, I promise we're taking your case up no matter what. Joseph Acevedo. Okay. Gary Churak. You're on mute.
Yes, ma'am.
What is happening with your case?
We have the paperwork all signed. It should be heading to the court.
Okay.
Your Honor, while we're waiting for Mr. Sanders, would it be okay if I got a breakout room with my client?
Yes.
Thank you.
Mr. Gilliland, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 4. And Roland, let me find out. There you are. I'll send you to 4.
Thanks, Judge.
And as you say that, Marcus comes back.
Figures.
Yeah, that's the way it's going. But everyone has been having great patience, so I appreciate that. All right, Joseph Acevedo.
Yes, Judge. Just got the remaining discovery of the new number 1. May we have one last reset so I can evaluate
Where's your
it.
client?
He should be in, Your Honor.
Where's Mr. Silva?
I'm right here, Your Honor. I'm right here,
just-
Your Honor.
All right.
Can you hear me, Your Honor?
Yes, I can hear you.
Thank you.
All right, this case has been recalled since November 16th. On November 16th, it was the new number 1. And I guess it had something to do with the blood draws. Is it the same number 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. Ferguson, on Mr. Steven Silva, can I have a date in the chat box for a contested, please?
Yes, ma'am. Give me just 1 second.
All right, Mr. Acevedo, either February 9th or February 16th.
16th, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Silva, you'll need to appear in the 187 District Court on February 16th at 2 p.m. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. February
Right.
16th,
Yes.
2 p.m.
And the courtroom is located at 300 De La Rosa. We are on the 4th floor, all right?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Mr. Acevedo, you and your client are excused.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Robertson.
Yeah, Your Honor, could we get in a breakout with my client, Mr. Duclos, to do the paperwork?
You didn't even ask about my thing, man.
Oh, you're still on video, Mr. Silva. You need to speak to your attorney about that. Let me find your breakout room. All right, I'm going to move you all to breakout room number 10.
Thank you.
And everyone, just give me 1 moment.
Can get some patience.
Oh man, today is going slow.
That was
on Zoom, but I ran out of, she said.
All right, Mr. Churak,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, you're finished speaking to your client?
Yes, we have the paperwork all signed. We're just waiting to close the plea out.
All right, as soon as I have the paperwork, I will sign it. Has your client signed all the paperwork?
He has, Your Honor. I believe he has.
Okay. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you to a breakout room with the clerk, and they will let you know if they have all the paperwork.
All right.
And let me do that now. Mr. Medina, if you go to breakout room number 1, please. And to clerk, if you'll go to number 1, please. And they'll let you know if they have all the paperwork. So, Mr. Knight.
Yes, ma'am.
So what is happening with Mr. Knight?
Judge, I conferred with Mr. Sanders. We have an agreement on a reduction, so I'll get that filed and sent to Mr. Sanders in the court today.
All right, if you send it through, it may be quicker if you send it through email and include Mr. Sanders in the email and just attach the order with your agreement. And
Okay.
if you could title your order, agreed order.
Yes, Judge.
All right, thank you. Number 14M can go back.
Yes,
And we
ma'am.
will see you back, Mr. Knight, on February 22nd.
Okay.
And if you are on bond, Mr. Knight, you are allowed to appear by Zoom or either in person.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
All right, and remember this, Mr. Knight, the time to learn how to use Zoom is not when you have to use it, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, bye-bye, have a good one.
You have blessings.
God bless you too, thank you. All right, thank you, Mr. Allen, you're excused.
Judge, excuse me, am I excused?
Yes, Norma Kim, L8 can go back.
Thank you.
I'm taking you up next, Roland. All right, so what is happening with this case?
Your Honor, we're asking for a PR bonds. The cases have subsequently been indicted. They were indicted as 2022 CR 0066, 0067A, and 0068A. But at the time of the filing, he had been in custody for in excess of 90 days without indictment. Even though the cases have subsequently been indicted, the state still is not ready to proceed. There's still a lot of outstanding discovery on this case. And I
So
think
here's my question. Are any of these cases violent offenses? And we're not on the record yet. And what is the defendant's criminal history?
they are all white collar type cases. There's no violence associated with them. These are not drug offenses. They're all going to be white collar cases.
Right. And what is his criminal history?
He currently has 2 other indicted felonies that he's in custody on right now, which are set, I believe, next Friday, if I'm not mistaken. Other than that, I don't believe he has any other felony record, and to my knowledge, he has no violent offenses histories in his past. I believe he has no criminal record prior to those other 2 cases, which were indicted in 2020.
Okay. All right, can I see the state and the defense in a breakout room, please? Breakout room number 2. And Mr. Sanders, if I can see you in breakout room number 2, please. And then when I come back, we're going to take up the case on Christopher Lee Gonzalez. Ms. Ferguson? Can I have a reset date on Mr. Gilliland? And can you tell me where are we on discovery matters? Mr. Garcia, have you received all the discovery in each of these cases?
Your Honor, I have not. I did confer with Mr. Sanders during the Christmas break. I provided him a flash drive and I outlined a letter with what I believed I was still outstanding on the 2 older cases. I did talk to him this morning about the new cases and what I believe is still outstanding on those. So there's an extensive amount of discovery in these cases, I anticipate. And I don't think there's still a lot of discovery that's outstanding.
All right, we're going to recall this for February 24th for discovery. And Ms. Ferguson, my understanding is that he has cases set on different days. If we can put all of these cases on the same date, unless there's a reason for you to be back here next Friday on this case, Mr. Garcia, we are just going to put them all on the same date.
Okay, so all 5 cases will be set to February 24th?
Yes.
Okay.
And actually I have 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's 5. And we'll make that date as a discovery date. And if there's nothing else, you are excused.
Thank you. Could I just have a breakout room with my client so that he's aware of
Yes,
what's going on?
but make sure that he comes back to the main room, please.
I will. Thank you, Judge. And from the breakout room, am I excused from there or do you want me to come back?
Yes, but before you leave, just make sure he's no longer in the breakout room.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Gilliland, I'm going to send you to breakout room number 3. And I'm trying to find you on the screen. I'm trying to find you in the breakout room, Mr. Gilliland. Does it show you in a specific breakout room?
No.
All right, let me try to find you on the Zoom screen. My boxes look different than yours. There you are. So if you could go to 3, please. Mr. Gonzalez, are you ready on Christopher Gonzalez? Who has Christopher Lee Gonzalez?
Your Honor, Lorraine Efren, I do.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, I need you to start your video.
I'm here.
All right, is there a prosecutor available for Gonzalez?
I'm here, Your Honor.
Okay. Court is calling 2019 CR 12466, State of Texas versus Christopher Lee Gonzalez. Can I have parties announced for the record, please, for the state?
Michelle Hayden for the state.
For the defense?
Lorraine Efren for defense.
And are you Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
We're proceeding by video because of the pandemic. Any objection from the state?
No, Your Honor.
Any objection from the defense?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, I'm showing you what's entitled defendant's consent to appear by video. Did you review that document with your attorney? Did you understand it? And did you electronically sign it?
Yes, Your Honor, I did.
Court will find that defendant has knowingly and voluntarily consented to appear by video. Next, I'm showing you a document entitled Motion to Enter Adjudication of Guilt and Revoke Community Supervision. Did you review that document with your attorney and did you understand it?
Yes, I did, Your Honor.
Are you the same Christopher Lee Gonzalez who was placed on deferred adjudication in 2019 CR 12466 for the offense of assault family's second offense on November 16, 2020 for a period of 4 years? Is that you?
Yes, Your Honor.
State.
Your Honor, we have an agreement in this case. Defendant is going to plead true to the violations in the motion to enter an adjudication of guilt. And we'll be asking that the
All right,
terms-
if you could read the allegations for me, please.
Violated condition number 2, on or about the 27th day of January 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Christopher Lee Gonzalez did then and there fail to submit to drug testing as directed by the court/court officer/community supervision officer or a duly authorized agent of the court in violation of condition number 2.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 5, in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Christopher Lee Gonzalez did then and there fail to report to the supervision officer as directed for the months of February and March 2021 in violation of condition number 5.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True.
Violated condition number 9, on or about the 28th day of January 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Christopher Lee Gonzalez failed to report a change of address and or provide proof of residence to the supervision officer within 48 hours in violation of condition number 9.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
Violated condition number 14, on or about the 29th day of April 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Christopher Lee Gonzalez did then and there fail to complete 100 hours of community service restitution in violation of condition number 14.
How do you plead to that, true or not true?
Your
True,
Honor,
yeah.
okay. He had barely been on probation at that time and would not have probably been able to have completed it at that
No,
point. in time anyway.
I understand.
Okay.
All right. State,
Violated condition number 15, on or about the 29th day of April 2021 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Christopher Lee Gonzalez did then and there fail to attend, comply with all rules, regulations, instructions, and financial agreements as directed by the court and or community supervision officer and or the head of or authorized personnel of the following counseling education program, state accredited battering intervention and prevention program in violation of condition number 15.
how do you plead to that, true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
True, with explanation, he had not enrolled in the program. Again, he'd just been on the probation for a short period of time.
Okay. All right, state,
And then on or about the 2nd day of December 2020 in Bexar County, Texas, the defendant Christopher Lee Gonzalez failed to provide proof of employment within 15 days as directed by the court and or supervision officer in violation of condition number 16.
how do you plead to that, true or not true?
True, Your Honor.
All right, did you understand by pleading true to violations 2, 5, 9, 14, 15, 16, the court could find it true, grant the motion, find you guilty, not grant you community supervision, and sentence you up to 10 years in prison and up to $10,000 fine? Did you understand?
Yes,
Knowing that, do you still wish to plead true to violations 2, 5, 9, 14, 15, and 16?
yes, Your Honor.
Court will find violations of 2, 5, 9, 14, 15, and 16 true. Is there an agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
And what is the agreement?
We ask that you deny the state's motion and that you alter and amend the conditions of community supervision to include the defendant will provide proof of employment and residence within 15 days. He will enroll in BIP within 5 days. Bi-weekly UAs for 90 days. GPS tracking from 12 to 5. And we'd ask for no unsupervised contact with minor children. And once he provides proof of employment, we can, revisit those parameters, those hours. And I think that's it. The proof of employment, enroll in BIP, bi-weekly UAs for 90 days, and the GPS tracking.
All right, Mr. Gonzalez, can you raise your right hand for me, please? Do you solemnly swear affirm the testimony you give will be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you can lower your hand. So, Mr. Gonzalez, are you currently employed?
Yes, Your Honor.
What do you do?
Actually, remodeling commercial buildings.
All right, so Mr. Gonzalez, you need to provide proof of that. Here's the thing, when you're on probation, if you don't provide proof of it, people assume you're not doing it. So will you be able to provide proof of your employment within 15 days?
Your Honor, that is a little problematic in the sense that he functions a lot as a self-employed contractor. So,
well, Mr. Gonzalez, are you being paid for your work?
Yes.
Well, currently, right now, Your Honor, he's on which is another thing that we're going to ask the court to address, and we have an agreement on, is he's on a bond condition with a full GPS house arrest. And so that's prohibited from him from working up till this point. So we're also asking the court and Michelle and I have discussed and agreed that the bond conditions will also be altered and amended to line up with these conditions, the 12 to 5, partial house arrest where he'll be on GPS tracking during those hours. And then he'll be able to sort out exactly what his employment situation is going to be, where he's going to be working, who he's going to be working with. And he'll be able to provide the documentation necessary.
Mr. Gonzalez,
Yes, Your Honor.
when are you going to be able to provide proof that you're employed? And are you being paid when you take on jobs?
Yes, Your Honor.
How are you paid? Are you
Checks.
paid with checks? All right.
Check.
You need to provide that. And I'm sure with the checks that you receive, there's a memo line that states why you're receiving the check. And I'm sure that there is a contract from you, for want of a better word, a contract that shows what the work that you're doing and the fee that you're charging. So when are you going to be able to present that to probation?
Well, as soon as like 2 days.
Well,
I'm giving you 15 days. And here's the
Okay.
thing, I gave you 15 days before and you didn't do what you were supposed to do. So this is your last 15 days for me, for you to provide proof that you're employed. And if you are not actually getting customers for your contracting business, you're going to have to find another job because everybody needs to financially support themselves, right? Do you have a residence?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. You need to provide proof of where you're living to probation within 15 days. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. I have that proof. Yes.
All right. The BIPP course. You need to get registered with that course within 5 days. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
Will you be able to do that?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to give you on GPS tracking and I'm going to give you a curfew. And your curfew is going to be 6:30 p.m. So from 7 a.m. to 6:30 p.m., you should be able to do whatever you need to do. But you need to be at home at 6:30 p.m. And the only time you can leave the house before 7 a.m. is if you have proof, and that proof has been provided to probation, that you have employment that starts before that time. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor. Let me ask you a quick question. Because
Chris, why don't you ask me first?
Okay.
I'll go into a breakout room with you.
Then this issue with the no unsupervised contact with minor children, do you have children, Mr. Gonzalez?
Yes, Your Honor.
What are their ages?
15 and 13.
All right. So I'm going to.
And I have a 20-year-old.
We're going to do parenting classes. And there's not going to be any unsupervised contact with minors until you've at least taken some parenting classes. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
So what that means is if the children are with you and there's another adult there and they say, oh, I need to run to the grocery store. Can you babysit? Your answer is no, you cannot, because you have to be supervised. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
And there's to be no employment as a home health care provider or any employment involving children. As far as community service hours go, I gave you 100 hours community service restitution and ordered you or gave you permission to buy out that community service hours at $7.25 per hour to the San Antonio Food Bank. The court will deduct 40 of those 100 hours of community service restitution if you provide proof that you've been vaccinated. That includes the booster shot. The court is not requiring anyone to be vaccinated, but if you do, you will receive a 40-hour credit towards your community service hours. There should be GPS tracking and the court will waive the fees.
And I'm fully vaccinated with the Moderna.
You need to provide proof of that to probation.
Okay.
And there will be regular reporting by Zoom or in person. So if you can't report by Zoom, it'll need to be in person. And I'm going to want random field visits 2 times per month.
Okay. My kids don't live with me.
Right, I understand, but do you, the main point is, do you understand the conditions that have just been given to you?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, let me explain something to you. From here on out, everything that you do, you need to ask yourself, is this something that could result in me going to prison for 10 years? This whole thing about you not telling them where you're working, not telling them where you reside, not doing your community service hours, not doing your bit, that's all on you. This probation is a contract between you and the court. This agreement that the state and the defense worked out, I didn't have to follow that. I could have said, yeah, it's true. I'm sending you to prison for 10 years. If you don't want that to happen to you, you had better start working and doing what's required of you. Do you understand?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, we can go off the record. I'm going to send you to breakout room. Probation will go over new conditions with you. Ms. Efron, you can go to the breakout room with him, or either you can be excused.
Okay, Your Honor, I did want to see if we could address the bond conditions on the unindicted case that's pending so that they could line up with what you've just done on the probation.
All right, if you have an agreement with the state on that, then just send it to me in email and we will follow that.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Sure, I'm sending you to breakout room number 19.
Okay.
Judge, I wanted to clarify on the no unsupervised contact with minor. Is that when parenting is completed or just once he starts it?
Once he's had at least 3 parenting classes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Sawyer.
Your Honor, I'm back. I have conferred with the state and we have a good dialogue going on each case. I would like to ask the court if we can reset both cases for just one setting. And I believe it will be resolved in the very next setting.
All right, and who is this on?
This is on Sean Rodis.
All right.
And on him, I'm just waiting to get some school records to find out about his educational background.
All right, where is Mr. Rodis?
He was in right here in my office, Your Honor. I'll get him on the screen for you.
All right. Mr. Sawyer, I'm going to put something in. Oh, I trust you, Mr. Sawyer. Mr. Sawyer, I'm going to put something in the chat box to you.
Yes, yes, Your Honor.
Mr. Gonzalez, can you please go to room 19?
How do I do that?
Under the breakout rooms, it should send it to, that's the last room you were at.
Join breakout room? Okay.
Yes. All right. Ms. Ferguson, on Sean Rodis, can I have a 3-week reset, please? All right, we're going to come back on February 15th on Mr. Rodis. And let me find him on the.
Okay, there you go.
Because Mr. Rodis is in my office because he rides the bus. That's how he gets around.
Oh, no problem. And he's excused. So we'll come back on February 15th. Brenda, do you see what page Mr. Rodis is on?
Page 15.
Thank you. And then your other client is Mr. Heisen.
That's Mr. Heisen. We're right down the right path. If I get about 30 days on that, that'll certainly work out.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, can I have a 30-day reset on Mr. Heisen, please? All right, we're going to come back on February 23rd.
23rd.
Mr. Heisen will be back on your case on February 23rd. If your attorney wants to come back sooner, we'll come back sooner. Norma, you can let them know that Mr. Heisen's 17G can go back.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have a wonderful day.
All right, you too. Thank you so much for your patience.
Judge, thank you and have a good day.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Judge, briefly, Marcus is informing they will be dismissing Justin Martinez's case, and I'm wondering if we can be excused.
Yes, you may be excused, and the court has signed that.
All right, thank you. Justin, you can go.
Can everyone just give us a moment? And I'm going to take up Medina. All right, Russell Mitchell on Charles Jones.
Yeah, Judge, I talked with Meredith and she confirmed he still has 3 second-degree drug cases awaiting indictment that I am not his attorney on. Ricardo Ramos is. So I don't know if we can reset my case for 30 days and hopefully they'll be indicted by then.
All right, Ms. Ferguson on Charles Jones. Can I have a 30-day reset, please? Sorry, just one moment.
Okay.
All right, so on Mr. Jones.
Right.
All right, where is Mr. Jones?
He said he was on there. He said he didn't have any audio, but he's told me he was on the video.
Let me see. I have 3 or 4 pages.
He's always shown up. So
I don't see Mr. Jones.
because he texted me, he said he was on, but he didn't have any audio. So I don't know.
All right, so let's try to get Mr. Jones back here. I'll give you a reset, but he needs to show up so I can see his face.
Okay. Okay, Judge, can I be excused and let me text him and tell him to get on?
Yes, you can be excused.
Okay, thanks, Judge. Let me tell him to get back on so you can see him.
Okay, everyone, I know you've been very patient. I appreciate your patience from the bottom of my heart. But as you all know, the court reporter has to take a break because she takes down the record for everybody. Mr. Robertson, we do have your paperwork, but the court reporter needs a break. And I try to give her a break so we can make sure that the record is done correctly, and it makes it easier for her. So if everyone can come back at 2, and Mr. Robertson, I'll take your case up first thing. You will be number 1. But Mr. Robertson, you said you had to be somewhere, correct?
Got a CLE from 1 to 2:15.
All right,
Online.
are you able to zoom back after your CLE?
Yes.
All right, so we'll take you up then after your CLE. We'll take that up. Thank you so much for your patience. I appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, and Mr. Chirek on Mr. Medina, we'll come back and you'll be up first.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much for your patience. It's appreciated. And we'll see what's happening with Mr. Del Bosque. That's the other person you have. And Mr. Sanchez, what is happening with your case?
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you so much. I did have the opportunity to speak with the district attorney's representative and Ms. Wilkes. And this time we'll be asking the court for a 30-day reset. There's some things that we've been tasked to do, and we're going to do those things and hopefully come back to court the next time to get more progress on the case, Your Honor.
All right. Have you received all the discovery?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Ferguson, on Melinda Gonzalez, can I have a 30-day reset? All right, we're going to come back on February 23rd. And
Yes,
you
Your
and your
Honor.
client are excused. Thank you so much for your patience.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good seeing you. See you soon.
All right, you too. Bye-bye. All
Thank you,
right, Mr. Cox, you always have a lot of patience.
Yeah, Judge, I ran out and I came into the courtroom to get some more, to get a refill.
See, when you come to the courtroom, then it's like,
I was in the courtroom to get a refill, Judge.
well, I'm glad that, well, I hope I'm sure Deputy Laura and Deputy Mejia gave you refills.
She scraped up some patients. And
Okay.
I'm with that now. I just need a short, we'll discuss it. I think this is a first setting. We discussed it, the case, and actually the state may be an offer, Judge. So I just need an opportunity to go over that with my client. So if I can get a reset, Judge, that'd be fine.
All right, so where is your client, Brandon Frichter?
All right, I think that
Is he in custody?
he's in a local jail, I think, Judge. He's in Bear County.
He's in Bear County Jail? Okay.
I believe so.
I think they may have excused them for lunch. And that's the other reason why I try to make sure I break at noon or close to noon every day, is because I want to make sure that all the inmates have their lunch. And sometimes if they don't break to get their lunch, they don't get their lunch.
Can I get a 2-week reset or however you want to give me, 30 days?
Sure, we can give you a 30-day reset. Ms.
Thank you,
Ferguson,
Judge.
can you have Mr. Frichter come back on February 23rd? And you have all discovery?
Yes, Your Honor, if everything's worked out, I may call Ms. Ferguson and let her know we may have a plea deal.
All right,
Get
and
it
if you want to
before
put it
time.
on the, if you want to put it on the docket sooner than that, you can.
I'll put it on the block as soon, Judge. I like to keep the wheels of justice moving fast.
Well, not too fast, because you want justice to be done.
We want justice to be done. Yeah, that's those are the little, those
All
are
right.
little caution
Thank
things.
you.
Thank you, Judge.
You're welcome. All right, Bill Davidson unsettled. Mr. Duclos, we're going to bring you back at two-ish for your attorney to finish the plea. Yes, thank you. Norma, we'll need L14 back for 2.
Yes, ma'am.
And we'll need Morales 14-0 back at 2. All right, Bill Davidson.
Yes, Your Honor, on one Montemayor, that's going to be a trial setting. And on Miss Settle, I'm really not, I mean, I have a great offer to give her right now, but I don't know that she's still online. And
All right, so what we'll do, Mr. Davidson, if you can come back at 2 and we'll take that matter up, okay? We'll
Okay.
take both of those matters up. And
Thank you.
Geronimo, you need to be back here at 2 and you need to be on time. If it comes to the point where you're constantly not on time, then what's going to end up happening is you're going to have to appear in court and your Zoom privileges will be revoked. Do you understand? All right. So everyone, I'm going to stop